Hello and welcome to episode 9 of season 4 of Next Generation's First Generation, a Star Trek The Next Generation watch-along podcast, where on the 30th anniversary of the release of the original episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation, Patrick and Sasha present commentaries on those episodes. Today's episode is the 9th episode of season 4 of Star Trek The Next Generation, Final Mission, where we will say goodbye for a minute to Wesley Crusher. He is leaving the Enterprise.
Goodbye to our good friend Wesley, but it won't be the last time we see him. This is Sasha, your co-host. So this episode, why is it significant? Is because we are saying goodbye to a second long-term cast member. I believe the first one was Tasha Yar.
Yep.
And now we are saying goodbye to Wesley. And I think it's interesting. I in the world of television, Patrick, I've always noticed that the main cast is usually anywhere from like 5 to 8 people in any show. Mm-hmm. And so I'm wondering if removing now 2 main characters, if that's really impacted the style or the flow of the show, or they have more time to give to individuals rather than spread out the action equally.
Well, I don't know if Wesley left because Will Wheaton didn't want to be on the show as a regular anymore, or because fans hated Wesley. It's very similar to what happened with Robin several years before this, where he was a character that the fans didn't like. There was a vote, and he was killed off. And in the lead up to that, they had made Robin this kind of a jerk character.
Yeah, I can
and
see that.
Wesley definitely comes off as kind of a jerk in this episode.
Yeah. Well, he's very much by the book. Oh, you better listen to the man, because the man says do it this way, and you're a fool.
Yep.
Well, okay, you get to hear all this wonderful commentary while we are watching the episode. So, in order to get there, we're going to give you the countdown, and when we get to 1, go ahead and push play on your viewing device. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Captain's log, starting
We are warping along in the galaxy here with another beautiful captain's log.
Yeah, the captain is going to navigate a mining dispute, which does not seem like the kind of thing that a captain of a flagship of the Enterprise should do. Seems like they'd have better people for that. But Wesley has come on. He's going to get flipped some attitude by Picard. That's kind of a joke because he is being told that he is being sent to the Academy.
I couldn't just leave them lying out.
Mr. Crusher.
No, sir. I was just attempting to offer an explanation.
Oh, look at Riker leaning in like
Yeah.
he's going to get it.
Yes, sir. I'm aware of that.
And you'd never be able to tell with Riker. Riker would not be allowed to be sarcastic like that.
Oh,
The Academy?
Wesley
Wesley
just
the half
figured it
dad.
out.
Message from Admiral Insomaka.
And now Riker's smiling and
She's
laughing.
expected to report in 2 weeks. A position has opened up in this year's class.
Wow, so there we go. He finally got in after putting it off, 3 times or 2 times?
Assured the Admiral that you are capable of it.
So the
Twice.
last
Twice.
time...
The first time he couldn't get it. He couldn't get in. He didn't pass his exam. Second
Yeah.
time there was an emergency on the ship that only he could solve, and his transport left without him.
His mom was stuck in a bubble.
Riker's told
Yeah.
me to have been studying the effects of
Technically, what's going on here, I mean,
Federation law. What better way to get
is that he was being, he's been getting Academy credit from that point on by staying on the Enterprise.
Huh.
Here's a fun question.
Okay.
Do you think that
Open a channel.
if Picard told Riker to just slap Wesley as hard as he could across the face, Riker would do it?
No, he wouldn't.
I was going to say Riker would, but Worf wouldn't.
Well, the way that I see it is that in other episodes where the captain does something out of the ordinary,
Mhm.
people let it go for a little bit, then finally call him out on his BS. Look at this woman's makeup. How does she eat
Yeah.
anything?
Through a straw. So B plot of the episode, there is a garbage scow heading toward this planet that's insanely radioactive.
That's a big iPad he's holding there. Look at that.
Thank you, Captain.
Well, so they're gonna basically calve out Picard and Wesley into a shuttle,
Yes, sir.
and the Enterprise is gonna go off and do B-plot stuff.
Yep.
So, out of all the shuttles that the Enterprise has, they have to take this piece of junk.
That's not their
Yeah.
shuttle. That's the minor shuttle.
Yeah, why would they even take the minor shuttle? I don't
Because
get
he
it.
came there to pick up the card.
Oh.
And Wesley immediately flips this guy a whole ton of disrespect because since this guy owns this shuttle, it's his shuttle, he calls himself the captain of the shuttle, which Wesley thinks is ridiculous.
Captain Durgo of the shuttlecraft Nenevik. Ah, Captain.
Well, if you're driving something, you're the captain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Wesley doesn't look like a jerk yet. Oh, this guy's eyebrows are beautiful. Oh,
Yep.
never
Yes,
mind. It's over.
Captain. My ship isn't pretty. She isn't big. But we've logged almost 10,000 hours.
10,000 hours together. Wow, that's almost as much time as I put into Civilization 6.
30 crops. We should go.
I don't know if he caught it or not, but
Captain, when you
LaForge just very clearly said he ran a safety check and everything checks out.
Yep.
So that kind of negates my whole, why the hell are they taking this piece of shit?
Well, Picard is doing a good job of being a leader because after Wesley insulted the guy, he tells Wesley, well, you're going to help this guy navigate. I'm going to read up on the log.
Gotta give
I'm
him a
leaving
job.
you two, yep, I'm going to leave you two at the front of the ship. So
You've done this before. Yes.
don't be a jerk. And Wesley's like, oh, I got crud duty.
Those miners will tear him apart.
You think you would really need to help this guy navigate a shuttle if he's
I've lost navigation.
if the captain is all by himself for 10,000 hours?
Guidance coupling systems.
There is some kind of emergency going on.
Can't stabilizer.
They're spinning out of control. They're in a tailspin. Oh yeah, tailspin. Oh yeah. Oh, we're in the credits. That was a really long intro.
Yeah, it was.
Holy smokes, that was almost 5 minutes.
Few plot lines.
Yeah, so this is episode 9 of season 4, directed by Corey Allen. Teleplay was done by Casey Arnold Ince, I-N-C-E, and then Jerry Taylor, which we see a lot of in the show. Ron Jones did the music, and this came out December 2nd, 1980. Holy cow! You've passed the Turkey Day, and now you're coming up to the Christmas Day. You may or may not have the tree up, or you may not have a tree at all, and you are waiting for some other great way to shower yourself with gifts, because we all know it's about treating yourself. We have also, let's see here, Nick Tate is the name of the pilot, just in case you're wondering. Oh, he's from Australia. I thought I
I'm
heard
surprised that Ron Jones did the music for this one because I thought he got fired after Best of Both Worlds.
Maybe it was an episode in the
leftover.
can.
Yeah. A leftover plinkety plink.
Yes. So, now that we are in the 10th episode, my mistake, no, 9th episode of season 4, looking back then, where did you think the show was going to go?
So I can't see anything but the Wikipedia page if the show's still going.
Ah, there you go. You should see it now.
Thank you. Cool. Just in time because we're back at the episode.
The port thruster module.
So here's what's crazy. This is not an episode that I saw until I was in my 20s.
Okay.
I thought Wesley left the ship without any kind of fanfare at all.
Communication's gone.
I totally don't remember having seen this as a kid. It was like Wesley was there and then he was gone, and I think and again, Wesley wasn't a character I got very excited about. So I probably asked my dad one day, where's Wesley? He's like, oh, he went to the academy.
Back on the main impulse engines.
But there wasn't really a lot. What'd you
Sorry,
say?
go ahead. Well, I remember you saying you liked having Wesley around at the beginning because he was a kid, you were a kid. Seeing kids on Star Trek kind of was an appeal
Somewhat.
to you.
I'm trying to think what as a child my big Wesley episode was probably the one with Barkley and Wesley. But
Mr. Crusher,
so as far as where this was going, as an 8-year-old, I just assumed, Star Trek: The Next Generation will be around forever. I didn't really care about arcs and TV shows.
You see, Picard just pulled a little bit of stuff off the ceiling there when he was trying to brace himself.
That's a good little guy.
So when I was watching this, I did see it when it came out. I was, I don't know, 11?
10.
1919? Yeah.
Oh no, you were already 11. You were already 11.
11.
Yeah.
And Wesley was an adult. As soon as he put on that red outfit, he had transitioned already. And even though I knew he was a student, he was definitely the adult in the room. Like if I was in the room, it wasn't me and another kid, it'd be me and an adult. So when we see him leave, the whole time I was asking, like, wow, what's the show gonna be like now without this guy around? And I don't know. I liked it. I was also kind of like you, where I didn't really know what was up with story arcs, and I didn't really follow them. I kind of stumbled upon I almost stumbled upon him like, oh yeah, there's that thing they were talking about. Wow, where did they film this? Look at this. Looks like
Probably California desert.
That's what I'm thinking.
Can't get a communication channel. Location
Good place to crash.
It just would have been difficult to have that prop. I don't know if it's only like 3/4 of a shuttlecraft or what, but it's a big prop.
It really is. It looks like a standard shuttlecraft with extra crud glued to it.
Food and water? The replicator.
And Picard finds out this guy does not keep water on his shuttle.
No emergency supplies.
This isn't a starship. I have to choose what I carry.
He can't afford to carry water.
Yeah. Don't you realize we're ugly bags of mostly water, sir?
That's nice little J.J. Abrams camera flare there.
Oh, yeah. He just must have been the only Star Trek he saw.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. We are back into the B plot. There is the.
And what a great shot of the Enterprise over the scow.
Right?
Which, fortunately, I did watch this today in the SD, and that is how it looks in SD as well as HD. They didn't change a whole lot about it.
You know, they really get it right in a lot of these shots.
Fission reactor, but it does not function.
The radiation levels from that ship are off the scale.
Could that be leakage from their engines?
So now they're kind of discovering this, kind of like who are those guys in Voyager, the Thalons? They would have these ships full of radiation waste, radioactive waste, and they would just kind of dump it into space.
Yeah, I can't remember what the character's name was.
Looks like she's got shingles on her chin. Space shingles.
If anything was ever a job for Superman, that moving this garbage scow is. Just fly in and fly it off.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do our best to get it out of here as quickly as possible.
And this isn't the first time the Enterprise has been called in to move something big and dangerous.
No, we had the one with the asteroid.
Yeah, and Q-Who, I think it was.
Yep, which was not radioactive. This one's different because it's radioactive.
And if you remember in the Masterpiece Society, that was also a Let's Move a Big Heavy Thing episode where Troy falls in love with the genetically engineered leader.
Yeah.
Did that one come up already?
No, Masterpiece Society hasn't happened yet, I don't think.
Yeah, you know, it's those episodes kind of feel like they should be earlier in the series, not later.
Yeah.
Now they just realize
it's hard to figure out what to do with
Picard is missing. Go ahead.
Yeah. The difference between this and the asteroid is that the asteroid was too heavy for them to move. This isn't too heavy for them to move at all. It's just they can't be close to it and stay healthy.
It's too hot. Too hot. Oh, Beverly's looking a little concerned. missing her guy. I like the underwear hats that they made.
Yeah.
I would like to really think that they wear black long johns underneath, and they were wearing their underwear on their heads. Where in the world did this guy get wood? That's what I want to know. Is that wood? No, that's metal.
No.
That's metal from the ship. Okay, when I first watched it, I thought it was wooden sticks, and I'm thinking to myself, how far did he have to walk to get those sticks?
Can't survive in this sun.
I just went to see a stick seller. He only talked to guys like me. When he said where did he get wood, I was like, well, Picard is wearing some pretty tight pants.
Tight pants, and they're wearing belts now for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's got a belt, but well, you know, when you're crashed on a desert planet,
probably because they're walking around probably because for the real world reason that the actors are walking around outside, and if they have to do any tracking shots, those shirts are going to ride up over their tummies.
Yeah. And he can't just conveniently tuck his shirt down because there are no chairs to sit up from.
Very well. I suggest a steady pace, not a brisk.
Well, they're going to walk.
To ration our energy. Try breathing through your nose.
I really feel sorry for them wearing all that black. In the
Yeah.
desert. That just seems like a bad idea. In fact, I don't even know why this captain's wearing a jacket, to tell you the truth.
It makes me think of, what's his name? When Ian Malcolm first shows up in Jurassic Park, the book.
Yes.
And he's talking about why he's wearing black on such a hot day.
I love how you can see all the tire tracks. Look at that, in the sand. And they're not even walking in the direction the arrow points. So Ian Malcolm, he's wearing black during the day?
Yes, and he does this whole thing about how, white repels sunlight, and black draws it in. And I don't remember why he did it, but
he had a reason.
That's where I learned that.
God, look at Wesley. He's being a dick after helping this guy up. He falls down, helps the guy up, and then says, "And we're worried about the captain." Oh,
yeah, you jerk.
Now, when I was a kid, I thought that was water. Everybody.
And well, they want you to think it's water, but it's booze.
I'm surprised that glass bottle survived the crash. Yeah. Now we know why he's wearing the jacket. To hide his bottle.
Hide his booze.
Man, it is a long walk to Burning Man.
Mm-hmm.
Find water? No, not yet.
Can't go in the smush tent without a partner.
that almost looks like a Triforce logo there on that little suitcase he's carrying.
Could be. I wonder if this is if they did film this where Burning Man takes place.
Probably. And again, with the more tire tracks, you think they could just get a guy out there with a leaf blower and cover that up?
Yeah.
Something over there? Waiting for us?
They found a direction.
Still, the actors, they got an energy reading. The actors did like to do stuff outside quite a bit, though.
Well, they hardly get to do it.
Yeah. So I guess it smelled real bad in the
like kitty
Enterprise sets.
It's possible.
Yeah. I want to figure out where this was filmed.
Good idea.
Well, we can't go
Type.
We can't stay here.
Yep.
We gotta keep
it
going
was the Disney. Well, no.
No matter what is waiting for us.
That's wrong.
Yeah, Star Trek's Final Mission.
Yep. Oh, I just went down the rabbit hole of other places like Disneyland, but it was no, it wasn't for this episode. It was for there are a lot of different episodes that they have outside. So a good one is Vasquez Rocks. Is a popular place for Star Trek to go. Picard was there. The fight with Kirk and the Gorn was there. Oh, hey, they found stairs. A naturally occurring set of stairs. They're on it, man.
Caves formed by water.
Now, I kind of watched this distracted this morning, but what the deal is there's water in this cave,
Mm-hmm.
but it's surrounded by a force field. And if you try to break that force field, will-o'-the-wisps kind of fly at you.
Correct.
Pattern's changed. The frequency's peaking a lot higher.
Okay, so this is called the El Mirage Dry Lake Bed in San Bernardino County, east of Los Angeles. Yep, you called it.
I wouldn't hide water.
Woohoo. So,
That's called Dresky. It's from my planet.
you withheld alcohol from us?
Yeah. Like Picard's like, I like booze.
It's medicinal.
Of course, it'll dry you out.
Emergencies.
It's medicinal. I have swole up knees. Look how swole.
It's like those people who have green cards.
Disinfectant.
It's mine.
Mr. Crusher, stow
What
that
green
with the
cards? You mean green stamps?
No, green cards, the pot cards.
Mr. Crusher, look out, Red.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
So the idea is that in places where marijuana is not legal,
The way.
you can get a green card from your provider,
Yeah.
and that will let you
You
smoke.
say my back hurts or
Mm-hmm.
my toes itch when I walk.
Yeah. I actually was talking to my provider about that as a possible option for a condition that I have, and the provider said, well, let's not pay attention for the fact that we don't do that here as policy, but the bigger thing is that most people who ask for these tend to have substance use issues, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh,
And pot is legal where you live too, so
yeah,
you don't actually need a green card.
yeah, but that was an interesting judgy statement from them for sure. But
Yeah,
back,
'cause- yeah.
back to the
Let's get into that. Let's get into that off mic.
So here we go. Beverly is very concerned. She's waiting. Her man is missing. Both their men are missing. In
Yeah.
fact, she's got to go through some very deep memories right now because Beverly's life is full of loss.
Mhm.
Losing Jack, with Picard bringing Jack back, with Wesley basically losing a father and just trying to grow up single on a ship is a little difficult.
And her experience is an experience we understand a little bit more in the world of today because, you know, parents will send their kids to school and there might be, you know, a mass shooting
Fire thrusters. Gradual acceleration to
or,
40%.
you know, an active shooter and they don't know what's going on, or the bus explodes when it gets to the end of the street.
Lost one module. Correcting thrust vectors to
Oh,
That'd be the-
hey, action!
Integrity of the barge
Yep.
has been
So they put these drones on the barge to
continuing.
scoot it on out, and one of the
Take
drones,
us to 1,000 meters ahead of the
I guess,
barge.
dislodged,
External radiation
and
levels increasing,
now
sir.
it's caused a bad course change for
Extend
the
shields around
barge.
the ship. Lock on the tractor beam.
Aye, sir.
I'm surprised they're not separating the saucer section right about now. Get all the kids up there.
What they did was they put all of the kids and families behind several protective barriers, and they also end up filtering the air so that, you know, they have the least amount of exposure. But, you know, like all these things, they have a countdown to, you know, 10 seconds before the radiation does in fact become legal, and oh, we got it. What's crazy to me is the distances that are proposed in this. So they're taking it to the sun, which
Yes.
means they're taking it to the center of this galaxy, which we don't know how big this galaxy is.
Solar system.
Solar system. We don't know how big this solar system is, but in order for a planet to support humanoid life like that, it's a long way to the sun.
Yeah, one astronomical unit, and they're going sublight. So 1 AU is how many miles do you think? It is a lot of miles. It's 9.26, or sorry, 9.96 E plus 7 miles.
Without phases.
But anyway, that's a long way to go. And so the idea is that if you're traveling slower than the speed of light, that's a long trip.
Yeah.
It's a very long trip. So here we are with the action and the firing, and they're trying to get the water, and the technology ghosts are are trying to stop the attackers, and Picard, he just gets buried. He did a very nice fake stage push there on Wesley. And,
yep,
and
as Patrick Stewart is trained to do.
Apply pressure to that wound.
Now Wesley's hair is all mussed. He's got the bangs in his eyes. As does the ensign in this episode, has a little hair flop going on, sitting at the con next to Data.
Yes, most definitely. You know, Picard really should be dead from this.
Yep.
That was a lot of rocks hitting on his head.
But he's almost dead.
Hey, it's the medicinal alcohol.
Yeah. He swallows it, belches out fire, and goes, "Ooh, some medicine."
Your right leg is broken.
Let's
I'm
make some
ready
wake
to
up
go.
juice.
Fracture of
Yeah.
left arm. You took a blow to the head.
Figure I'll just set my hand on that force field and jigger with it until it pops. You hold off whatever those creepy crawlies were what came at me, boy.
You tell him the truth. What truth? He's bleeding inside.
Okay.
He's never going to survive.
So,
You don't know what you're talking about.
how would he know that he's bleeding inside when he has a medical tricorder right there?
This is a man that works in mines. He knows what causes internal bleeding.
Yeah.
He knows more about this just by having seen accidents like this all his life than Wesley knows.
Oh,
by using the tricorder.
That's right, by getting crushed by falling rock.
Yeah.
I wonder if he ever has flown his shuttlecraft in a mine. And
I don't know. It's we.
I thought he was
Probably
a
not.
pilot.
It doesn't look like it has anywhere for like a drill to attach to it or anything.
I'm just thinking to myself, well, is he a pilot or a miner? 10,000 hours. So
I believe, yeah. So he's just a pilot.
yeah, that's 416 days straight.
Yeah.
So
what it is there's two mining colonies on the same planet that probably have unions that reached out to Picard as a non-involved third party. But clearly, the Federation has some stake in this. So probably what would have happened was he would have had to tell like one group of miners to get out, and they're not allowed to mine that area.
they just
So
got
he really isn't a neutral party because they sent a guy that represents one of those groups of miners to pick him up in a shuttle. So he's already going to be biased towards whatever group it was that picked him up.
that reminds me of City Skylines. Are you familiar with this video game at all?
No.
They have this joke of let's get our miners back into the mine, and so it's like this double entendre of like child labor and also
Oh, jeez.
Be a lot of casualties if we can't get there any faster.
Mr. LaForge, how much more can we get out of that tractor beam?
We're already at the maximum limits of our towing speed, Commander.
Let's see if we can establish a new upper.
I can't stress this enough.
Monitor the shearing effect on
Gates
the beam.
McFadden is just all in every time she's on screen.
well, she's a true actress, to tell you the truth. I mean, she doesn't mess around.
So a person of many, many talents.
Which is funny because I always thought that she was socially distant from everybody else in the crew. Like, they all kind of kept her at arm's length. Well,
You kind of have to as the doctor when they're the doctor, though.
I guess.
We're going to lose the barge, Commander.
I mean, Bones and Scotty are not hanging out all the time having a party.
Convert any more power to the shield. We're already hitting our maximum thermal
The
limits.
doctor on Voyager is a little bit different because
We're running at peak
he's kind of
pressure.
tailor-made to,
Do it.
work a certain way with every single person.
Radiation levels at 150 millirads per minute and
So he did do a lot of hanging around with a lot of people.
So, Riker, in command, do you think he could have I think he can captain just fine without Picard around.
Oh yeah, and Starfleet has already made that determination. He doesn't want to advance his career.
He just wants to stay where it's at. Wow, look at that. Oh, it's gift wrapped. I thought this was really cool.
Yeah.
Where it's just
Thing did it.
that electric force field, or not force field, that little wisp that was running around just encased this phaser in polystyrene or whatever he calls it. It kind of reminds me of the same material that was used to put those genetically engineered kids into stasis all the way back in season 2, where everyone was aging. It was Dr. Pulaski episode, if I recall.
Yeah.
To try to guard the fountain.
One of the effects, I saw it, but I didn't bring it up earlier, is that when the force field goes up around the fountain, it actually looks like an old cafeteria glass from the 1980s.
Oh yeah.
With that textured, warped plastic look.
You should get it like a Pizza Hut or something.
Mm-hmm. That's right. They were either white or they were red.
Yep. Godfather's Pizza. That's the one they
It
have.
just went to 40.
Not Pizza Hut.
What is this getting us?
Now, funny story about that. We used to have there was a dine-in Godfather's, and it had those glasses, and it had metal tabletops, and we had a dinner there one time. It was just the four of us, my mom, my dad, and my sister and I, and we could not set down our cups of pop and not have them slip right off the table. My sister and I spilled huge glasses of pop like several times that night. Just because the two materials, the tabletop and the cups, were not made to not kind of slide off of one another.
That sounds like a good risk for tipping, then.
Yeah. There really wasn't any at-table service, though.
No.
They gave you your cup, and you fill it up on your own. I mean, somebody had to come with a rag and wipe shit, but.
So here they're gonna do a plan. This is a really slow-moving episode. It's basically they're arguing about let's do it science, let's not do it science.
It should be better than this. Wesley's final goodbye.
Yeah, they've changed the force field texture, the one that we were just talking about in the HD version for the SD version. So Durgo, he's gone. He just got encased in this polystyrene.
Mm-hmm. It's like, maybe I can get him out. Maybe.
No, why try? He's a jerk.
Yeah. They mostly come out at night. Mostly.
Looks like he's just covered in silly string.
Mm-hmm. When I was a kid, we called silly string hilarious string.
Oh, there he is. He's got that
horror, a look of horror on his face.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. LaForge has diverted
So,
power from
out of all these
auxiliary
attempts,
generators in an
Wesley
attempt
has
to
gotten
stabilize
enough
the fracture.
data
This is the only
to
hope
find the
of
weakness
increasing
in the
our
force
total,
field,
so
and
we
he's
can
about to
clear the
make an
asteroid
attempt
belt
to
before
get the
radiation
water
levels
using
become
a
fatal.
tricorder and his
Radiation levels at
intuitive
300
sense of
millirems per minute and
deductive
rising.
reasoning.
Lethal
This
exposure.
arbitrary, how close do we have to get to the sun, and how much radiation are we going to get, is pretty ridiculous as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I would just, it's like there's nothing around them, just let it go here.
They could just use the inertia and let her rip.
Yeah. But they're like, nope, we got to wait until it says 10 seconds before we're bombarded with radiation.
Well, then it's not exciting television.
Supposedly there was an asteroid field. Oh yeah, there's the asteroid
What?
field. Yeah.
Okay, I think they were just bored. Is
They
that
didn't
good?
have. Well, no, they mentioned it. They just didn't have the budget to really show it. They spent a lot of time on making that cool shot of the Enterprise flying over the garbage scow from the level that it was at, and away it goes.
Off into the sunset. It's going
Yeah, it still
Battlestar
has quite
Galactica style.
Quite a ways to go before it gets to the sun,
Mm-hmm.
because the sun is so hot, everything on it is a gas.
Now this is a cool trick, and I've always wanted a phaser for this reason only, is that you can shoot rocks and heat them up.
Yes.
That just seems like a really cool trick. I wonder where the where they established the bathroom's going to be in this cave. Oh, let's just go in the corner, man.
Yeah.
Which corner? That corner?
Yeah.
No.
Hey, man. Good luck finding a corner.
Captain? Captain Picard?
Oh, boy.
It's where it's like, Captain Picard,
Stay with me.
I always wished you were my dad. Everything I did was just so as you'd be proud of me.
Sir.
Are ya, Mister? Gee willikers.
I think that would wear me out if I'm on my deathbed just
Yeah.
trying to stay awake and there is this Wesley trying to extract praise and
6 hours.
approval from me.
Yeah.
It'd wear me out.
Yeah. That one time I rode my bike through your flower bed, I didn't mean nothing by it. Honest. Why did you do it 5 more times, Wesley? Well, gee.
It's my fault that you were here.
Oh, here
Wesley,
we go.
it's my fault that you're here.
They're having the heart-to-heart.
I'm honored you wanted me along. Aw, I thought I wouldn't see you again.
He wanted some more one-to-one time.
Yeah.
Well, this is... Wesley, to be honest, is the closest thing that Picard's ever had to his son.
Except for we've already been introduced to his nephew, who is more legitimately the closest thing that he's had to his son.
True.
Yeah. What is that kid's name? It's not... Renee's the brother, not the kid, right?
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
It was only 10 episodes ago, too. No, 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
8 episodes ago. Holy cow.
No one knows this.
No one knows this because I've never told anyone, not even Data or Geordi or Counselor Troy, and she's always asking me questions about stuff.
Or the diary.
Yeah. All the things I've worked for, my school,
Yeah,
my science projects, even some weird stuff you don't know about. But I'll tell you what, when the Enterprise gets it a fix, you're going to be happy I done them.
Because I want you to be proud of me.
I've done it all because I want you to be proud of me.
And there's the first critical flaw of this character. Sounds like all the things that he did in life weren't about him. They weren't his interests. It was to get the
Ingratiate himself
praise.
to Picard.
Yeah, paternal praise.
Yeah, and he's not the kind of person that's impressed by deeds.
Yeah,
He's
Picard's,
impressed by character, and he is impressed by Wesley's character.
if anything, Picard's probably would be more impressed with what he did in his final episode with Traveler than right here.
Picard comes from a school of it's not what you do, it's how you do it. It's how you do it that matters.
Yeah. He's a very insecure guy.
First officer's log.
He is.
No idea.
Supplemental. The Enterprise is returning to the
Well,
last known location of the
I don't know.
Are you certain?
I personally have not grown up in a family where there is only one adult, so I can't speak to that. But I have observed friends of mine who have grown up in a single adult home that there is an attraction or a deficit due to the absence of one of the two parents. Like,
Yes.
they're either seeking the attention of people who fit that missing role model, or they are negatively impacted because of the lack of that role model, whoever it might be.
There are also 4 moons in the Pentaurus system.
Well, the Enterprise is back, and they're trying to figure out
Not yet, sir.
which moon to
Which one
go
is closest
to.
the debris coordinates?
Everybody bend over, and we'll just start throwing darts, and the first person we
Oh,
hit,
the
that's the
ensign's
first.
just glad they're not doing it to her chair.
Yeah.
Look at her. She's like, don't put your leg up here, Commander. Please don't put your leg up here. I can't tell you not to.
Oh, hey! Picard singing in French. Faint Bond.
Yeah.
Faint Bond. He's jailbreaking his tricorder. Breaking the Apple terms of service. You know this voids the warranty, young man. You won't be able to bring it back.
Now, there's a song I knew from Ancient Earth. And it goes like this. La 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 la. La 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 la. We're in a cave. Need water. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Da, 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 da. Yeah, that's totally a variation of the Triforce there.
What is the Triforce?
So it's from The Legend of Zelda.
Oh, yes.
And so the Triforce is just 3 triangles stacked to make a pyramid with a hollow triangle in the middle, which I guess could be the 4th triangle, but it's blank. And so here you go, you have 3 triangles with the upside down triangle in the middle, but then they decided to insert 3 more triangles just to probably avoid that whole copyright business, yada yada.
The next time he messes with the fountain, Ganondorf comes out.
Who?
Ganondorf from Legend of Zelda.
Oh, yeah.
Zelda 2. Wasn't it Ganon and then Ganondorf?
We're in the Grunken cave.
Yep.
Oh, I could never get past the water temple, man. I hated that so freaking much. And they had a tip line. It was a 1-900 number you could call to get clues on how to pass certain things in the game.
Oh, we're missing the cards telling Wesley about Boothby.
Oh, yeah.
Who becomes a very important character. I think he's in 2 episodes of Next Generation and at least 1 of Voyager.
One of the wisest men I ever knew.
Yeah, I think he was in 2. Well, no, he was only in 1 episode of Voyager. I want to say he was in 2, but I think that might have been a 2-parter.
No, he's in 2, but he's in 2 episodes of Next Generation, I think.
Yes.
He's in the first duty, and he's also in Tapestry, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Played by Mr. Ray Walston. My favorite Martian.
Stay alive.
Get the water, stay alive, save the cheerleader, save the world.
Yeah.
They'll find you. They always find you. It's TV. And you know what, Wesley? I'm probably going to be okay, too, and you're going to be embarrassed.
All he has to do is listen to the soundtrack, and he's going to know everything's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got this weird box, the other half of the box. And with this inspirational music in the background, he's going to go do his duty and get the water. Oh,
You remember.
I think Picard's about to say, "You're a good boy."
Yeah.
Yeah, I was always proud of you.
Which is what you say.
You know, I really should have way more respect for this episode than I do.
So should I, but yeah, it didn't do it for me watching it this morning. And if I saw it when I was 8, I do not have any memories of it at all.
I remember being bored every time it came up as a rerun, but I had a lot of fun watching it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly I just enjoyed the part where, you know, he fires the phaser and the guy dies, and he fires the phaser again and he gets the water. Oh, and there's that thing with the ship that flew into the sun. But it was a dialogue-heavy episode, but the dialogue was pretty meaningless, to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, here comes the Wisp. Take on me. See a hand reach out of there.
Just an old lady. Wesley, you're killing your mother!
There we go.
Stop playing with that thing!
You know, he actually looks like a real adult right there.
Yep.
It worked!
I'm gonna stick my face right in it. Oh god, it's acid.
Holy aqua wings, Batman!
Yeah. I used my tricorder for everything else but to find out whether or not this was actually water.
Oh, that would have been the burn right there if it's like sulfuric acid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. The people who built this don't need water.
Mm-hmm.
They need this other chemical.
Gotta put it in a flat tray.
Captain.
You're drinking from your hand.
Captain Picard.
Yep.
Cup.
Too bad they don't have tall boots. That would have been the best place to put it.
Tall boots?
Yeah.
How do you mean?
Fill it up with water.
Oh,
you know, hip
pour it in
boots.
his mouth. Oh,
Yeah.
Gross. To get all that boot juice in your
Yep.
water?
That's how they did it though back in the day. You know why that? I mean, you know why they had the booths like that, right?
No.
For pissing in.
No! Who would
Yes.
pee in your shoe?
Yeah, and you carry it home over your shoulder
Why would you carry a boot full of piss? That's the biggest load of...
so that you could get somewhere where you could drain it.
Is the ground not good enough?
Not around, the. So you're a soldier, right? And you show up at like somebody's manor house.
Right.
In fancy dress and stuff. So they don't have indoor plumbing at all, right?
No.
But you don't want to piss on their floor.
Yeah. Oh,
so you go in you go in a corner and you pee in your boot and you leave your boot off, in a corner, and you get to where you're encamped or whatever, and you throw it in the trench.
Oh my gosh, that is disgusting. Now I did know that what they would normally do is they would go out into the grounds and kind of go there. Hey, look, Beverly showed up.
Yep.
It's
okay. It shouldn't have been his mom. How'd you find me? A mother always knows, son.
Who should it have been then? Just some random guy?
Either the miners or just random Starfleet personnel.
We're taking you back to the Enterprise.
We're taking you back to the Enterprise. Stabilize your vitals, which we wouldn't have been able to do without Wesley and the dead miner. And now we're going to end on a joke.
But is he really dead?
Yeah. Wesley, what are you doing in such a filthy uniform? Fuck you, sir. I mean, you don't look so shipshape yourself.
They made it. They finally bonded.
Wesley, you will be missed. That's what you say to all the boys, sir. Not all of them, Wesley. Not all of them. Bum ba bum 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 bum.
There we go. They're walking out. Oh my gosh, what a snooze fest.
Yep.
This right here is my least favorite episode of the season.
And it shouldn't be, but yeah, it is.
And I can't even begin to say. So, here's the thing about all of this is that Wesley, he grew up on the ship. He grew up with Picard, essentially.
No, he spent 3 years with him. He didn't grow up there. He spent 3 years there. He was clear on this.
Really?
He said he's lived more in those 3 years than many people have in a lifetime, which is true.
Okay, but anyway, a lot of who he was defined with those 3 years on this ship, and there's also the past history with Picard.
Correct. The legendary Picard.
Yeah, he did a lot of transformation. He did a lot of personal growth, and he did save the ship a couple of times.
That is true.
Just a couple of times. He saved a few thousand people. And this is the see you later they give him. And I guess he was the actor, Will Wheaton, I guess. I heard some rumor about him getting in trouble trying to take some props with him when he left the show.
I love that, because he loved Star Trek, didn't love acting.
Yeah.
His mom was his manager and kind of made him do this stuff. And then to find out that the fans really didn't like him, that they had a whole panel called the Wesley Crusher Problem at one of the Star Trek conventions.
Yeah, well, him and Nicole DeBure can kind of drown their sorrows in their milk. Nicole DeBure, who played the second incarnation of Dax in Deep Space Nine, she just put it this way. It's like, you may have not liked me, but I was in Star Trek.
Yeah.
And that's a lot more than
she showed. It's like, she showed up for stuff, and it's like, I like her. She's just not Terry Farrell. Mm-hmm. And I would probably, be kinder if it happened now than I would have then. Or that I was then. I actually was not watching Deep Space Nine on a regular basis when she showed up.
Yeah, now when did they introduce Ro Laren? That's my question.
I believe beginning of season 5.
So really, she kind of fills that void that Wesley leaves behind. She balances out the number of the cast.
Yes, and she also creates some sexual tension with Riker, which is really interesting.
Yeah, you think?
But we'll get to Ro when we get to Ro. I will give this episode 2 stars, 1 for cool special effects, and 1 for Bye Bye Wesley.
Yeah, I'd actually give it 2 hidden whiskey bottles. Hidden whiskey flasks.
Medicinal whiskey that's not water.
Yeah. Oh man, this whole episode could have been done in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't need the B plot at all. They could have just been in a shuttle flying somewhere like they have a couple of times.
But they did that with Picard and Wesley already.
Yeah. Man, they could have done better. Well, I'm not gonna cry any more than I have to. I'm just gonna wrap it up and say thanks for bearing down with us in this awful episode. With that in mind, we have another episode coming up in just in your time frame, the New Year's Eve episode called The Loss. December 31st.
I'm going to stay home and watch Star Trek. They're having a Star Trek on New Year's Eve. I'm so excited. It's about Troy.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I mean, that's
I have more chance of getting together with a real girl than I do of enjoying this episode of Star Trek, and I haven't even seen it yet.
Well, with that, folks, if you want to tune in, you can find us on Next Gen First Gen on Facebook. We've got an email address of the same name, nextgenfirstgenpod@gmail.com. And you can also find our episodes wherever you get podcasts. And also, if you take a look on the Two True Freaks Network, we have an archive of movie reviews of all things called our Shore Leave series. And there's some other fascinating material there too. So with that, we'd like to say see you later and have a wonderful day.
Why am I interviewing you guys?
So you're the guest.
So Sasha, what is Star Trek Next Generation?
I'm the guest.
So Sasha, what is Star Trek Next Generation?
Seek us out at Next Generation's First Generation at iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube. Music credits include Electric Car by Poddington Bear, Broke for Free, As Colorful as Ever, Threshold by Poddington Bear, Telecom by Lee Rosevere, audio engineering by Sasha Shouties, Chief Meme Maker and episode cover credit goes to Matthew Kirschner. Logo and graphic art design credit goes to David Clawwitter. And special thanks to Patrick Delmore for working with other podcasts to make sure the good word gets out.
If you'd like to email the show, you can email us at nextgenfirstgenpod@gmail.com. I've been Patrick Delmore.
And this is Sasha Shouties. Thank you very much for listening and have a wonderful day.
Good night.